Good morning, Harlem. Morning. Thank you for joining us on this warm spring day. I want to acknowledge we are joined here by a number of leaders both across our administration and our city. We have our Deputy Mayor, Julie Su, who is here with us. We have our Interim President of EDC, Jeannie Pack, who's here with us. We have our council members, Elsie Encarnacion, as well as Yusuf Salam, who are here with us. We have our Manhattan Borough President, Brad Boylman-Siegel, and we also have the Director of Uptown Grand Central, Carrie King, who is here with us. Now, we are all here at La Marqueta at the same site where 92 years ago, Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia stood. And he was battling the cold and the pouring rain to break down on this very institution of La Marqueta. A city-owned public market opened 2 years later, in 1936. It cut overhead for pushcart vendors and lowered consumer costs. LaGuardia said it was, quote, an answer to those who said the unemployed had been forgotten. The New York Times described it succinctly. City tries experiment. New York City, it is time for a grand experiment once again. Just as LaGuardia used government to respond to the challenges of the Great Depression, we will use government to respond to rising prices and unaffordable groceries. Since the pandemic, grocery prices have gone up, and they haven't come back down. Between 2013 and 2023, grocery prices increased in New York City by nearly 66%, significantly higher than the national average. During our campaign, we promised New Yorkers that we would create a network of city-owned grocery stores, one in each borough. And we are here today to celebrate the site of the Manhattan store, La Marqueta, which will be open by 2029. Now here's how it works. The city will subsidize a core set of staples. A private operator will run the store, but they answer to the standards that the city will set. These standards include requirements that at our stores, bread will be cheaper, eggs will be cheaper, grocery shopping will no longer be an unsolvable equation, and workers will be treated with dignity. We're going to go one by one because as you can see, there's a lot of interviews. When it comes to EDC, we are continuing to conduct those interviews, and also I think what today shows is that the work of EDC is not reliant on concluding those interviews. That work will continue. We're proud, frankly, of the immense amount of work coming out of EDC to ensure that we can deliver something the city has not seen before, which is a guarantee that these prices will be
on topic question.
The issue is standards, and that means that people will be paid the amount of money that they deserve. And it's no, that's not what that means. What it means is these are the 1,000 New Yorkers live within a 10-minute walk of La Marqueta. 5,000 NYCHA residents live on either side of Park Avenue. And nearly 40% of East Harlem residents receive public assistance or SNAP benefits in the last year. And we know those are the very kinds of federal programs that are under attack in this very moment. Now, at its peak, La Marqueta served 25,000 customers per day. We hope to make a similar impact here in this very neighborhood, continuing Fiorello LaGuardia's legacy. This is what we mean by a new era. When New Yorkers are being priced out of their groceries, government will step in and deliver. Because I know there's a lot.
Okay. There's a lot of businesses here. There's a supermarket one block away. There's about 4 other grocery stores within a few blocks or avenues in this area. Many of them have been working for years with lawmakers on legislation to try to buy food at lower prices, at those wholesale prices, to be able to offer food at lower prices. So I guess why not work with local stores here in the area instead of potentially pushing them out of business?
This is not the entire answer to our City Hall's approach to tackling food insecurity. It is one part of it. What I will say is that for a long time, City Hall has relied exclusively on subsidies and tax breaks. There's a program called City Fresh that I've made my criticisms clear of that spent nearly the same amount of money that we're talking about spending on creating this supermarket, and yet New Yorkers have seen a rise in grocery prices across the country. So what we are looking to do is to provide something to New Yorkers where they don't have to hope, but they have a guarantee that their essentials will be cheaper at that supermarket. And it's something that we also see as one part of a flourishing ecosystem across the city. I'll give you another example. One thing that many of us love as New Yorkers are our bodegas across New York City. Now we also know that for bodegas, some of the primary revenue generators are tobacco products and lottery products. Our city-run grocery stores are not going to be selling that. We're talking about the very food and produce that working class New Yorkers are so often priced out of while they're being lectured to and told to eat healthy.
Dana, go ahead.
That's just continue to look at the Fresh program. I've made my criticisms clear of it as a program that has not translated into so much what New Yorkers are looking for in terms of affordability. When it comes to the products that we will be selling at these city-run grocery stores, there will be an essential basket of goods that will be guaranteed at a cheaper price. And
Cheaper than what?
cheaper than what they're being sold at currently.
So how do you determine? I think that's like
Yeah, the exact price points will be put forward over the course of this procurement process. However, the intent and something that we will fulfill is that New Yorkers will be able to recognize the price differential. It won't just be something that's incidental.
Monica and then Jennifer.
Steps are going to take to help you with their economic situation. Come on.
Yes. Look, I think that I'm going to go with your. Can you say your first question?
Just when the store will
When the
be-
store will be open. So let me go with that. This store will be open in 2029. The reason that we're announcing it first is because unlike other stores, this will be built from the ground up. We are talking about a vacant lot that is about 1 or 2 blocks over there that is currently laying vacant. It is city-owned. We're going to build it from the ground up. We're going to design it. We're going to build it. We're going to complete it. It's then going to open so that council member Salam's great-grandchildren can continue to go to it. The essential basket, but what I can tell you is that when New Yorkers come to city-run grocery stores, they will see a clear price differential when it comes to those essentials. And I'm not sure that we are talking about building something from the ground up. We're talking about this first city-run grocery store in Manhattan that we need to both design, that we also need to construct. We're also going to be constructing it using prevailing wages. And it's also one part of a larger ecosystem, not just in terms of La Marqueta, but also here on this strip. We've seen the MTA has just completed their work in this very area. This requires a lot of interagency and intergovernmental coordination that we're going to be seeing. The store that will be open next year in 2027 and the additional stores that will be open by the end of 2029 will not require this same scale of production. The difference in this approach is that we are not hoping for affordability, we're guaranteeing affordability. In the contract we will have with a private operator, it will be required that the savings that are passed on to that operator then be passed on to the consumer. And I think it comes back to what was being said earlier, which is that for too many working class New Yorkers, they are not able to budget for the grocery store anymore because they don't know what the price will be. I think it was savings to consumers. My answer to you was that many of these actions that are taken are done in the hopes of savings being passed on, but those guarantees don't come. The city has a City Fresh program. They invested $30 million into that program. Those savings have not been passed on to New Yorkers. This will guarantee those.
Thank you. Sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
Hi, Mayor. I'm wondering about the cost, the $70 million allocated towards the grocery stores. Can you comment on the decision to build this one from the ground up, considering the high cost of $30 million?
So we have seen the history of La Marqueta, what it means to people in El Barrio, and frankly, even beyond that. And when we speak to the local council member, I remember you were telling me you have photos of this very institution and the memories. And yet what we know is that for too many New Yorkers, affordable grocery prices have also become a memory. They have also become something that they look back on as opposed to something they can look forward to. And we have seen that the history of this site, the need of this site, again, we're talking about an area where nearly 40% of residents are on public assistance of some sort, where we have 5,000 NYCHA residents on either side of this avenue, where we have so many different ways that working class New Yorkers can get here. That kind of opportunity the city wants to be able to deliver affordable vision.
Are you have time for just a few more? We'll take a few off topics as well. So we'll start with Joe.
Been one of our volunteers over the course of the campaign, so we're hoping that this is more affordable thing.
Still have the bubble drop, and I was just, wanted to get your take on this. Are we prepared? Is the city prepared? Are there enough officers to protect New Yorkers and tourists this summer?
Yes, that is the short answer. The long answer, that is the answer. is that this city is prepared and that we're going to spend every single day. We're now less than 60 days away to the start of the most watched sporting tournament in the world. And we're so excited that together with New Jersey, we're going to be hosting 8 of those games. And we know that those games are not just opportunities for people to enjoy the World Cup, but also opportunities for them to enjoy our city, and for New Yorkers as well to get a chance to reintroduce themselves to the breadth and the beauty of the city. And I'm really excited by all the work that we're doing across city government to welcome tourists and to welcome our neighbors.
So you did maintain that there's a staffing crisis right now within the NYPD. Going forward in the summertime, how are we going to be able to come back from that?
We feel good about our staffing levels, and we're excited about everything we're going to deliver. Thank you.
This is your mayor coming out the back door like the rat